Good morning, students. Once again, we are here to discuss DOE Worksheet 24 from your chapter Life Processes. Okay, and in continuation of this, today we will discuss respiration. Student, what is respiration? Respiration is the process by which the living organisms produces energy from their food. But few of students get confused with the term this respiration as well as breathing. Student, breathing is what? It is the exchange of intake of oxygen from the atmosphere and releases of carbon dioxide, whereas the respiration is the process by which the organism produces energy with the help of oxidation of food, okay, with the help of oxygen. It helps in breakdown of food to get energy. This process is known as respiration. Okay. So, respiration, once again, respiration is the process of living organism to produce energy with the help from the food with the help of oxygen. So this is known as, but where it take place? It take place in the cell. So it is known as cellular respiration, means breakdown of simple food in order to release the energy inside the cell. When it is called as, then it is called as cellular respiration. Okay. So cellular respiration, but it is very much required for the for oxygen. It is required oxygen, but we have mainly two type of respiration, called as aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. In aerobic, as the name suggests, aerobic means the presence of oxygen. Okay, it take place in the presence of oxygen. And anaerobic means in the absence of, it take place in the absence of oxygen. Again, in aerobic respiration, it occurs in mitochondria and product is CO2 and water. It is a complete oxidation of glucose resulting in the formation of CO2, water and amount of energy, and releases energy in the form of ATP. More amount of energy is released in this case. Aerobic respiration, we have more amount of energy. One molecule of glucose produces up to 36 ATP. This is energy currency. ATP is nothing but energy currency. So, means ATP gives us energy to perform various functions, right? To cell to perform various functions. Okay, so aerobic respiration, right? But whereas in anaerobic respiration, it take place in the absence of oxygen, occur in cytoplasm as well as in E cell. Okay, end product is alcohol and lactic acid. In muscle, it form lactic acid and yeast, alcohol. Incomplete oxidation of glucose is taking place, so resulting in the formation of ethanol, carbon dioxide, lactic acid, and releases but less amount of energy. See, less amount of energy released. One molecule of glucose produces only 2 ATP. Okay, very less amount of energy as compared to aerobic respiration. This is very important difference between aerobic and anaerobic respiration. In continuation of this, see this the how this energy produces. These are the three ways by which the oxidation taking place in the cell. Let's see. Here we have glucose C6H12O6, 6 carbon atom molecule called glucose. In cytoplasm, it converted into pyruvate, which is 3 carbon molecule plus amount of energy. See this pyruvate in the presence of oxygen get converted, where it is in mitochondria, get converted into carbon dioxide, water, and releases ATPs, amount of energy, adenosine triphosphate. Okay, 36 ATPs, right? Whereas this pyruvate in the when lack of oxygen is there in our muscles, it get converted into lactic acid, which is again 3 carbon molecule, and less amount of energy releases. But in case of this absence of oxygen in yeast, ethanol form, carbon dioxide form, and very less amount of energy is formed. And this ethanol is 2 carbon molecule, 2 carbon atom molecule. So this is very important. This is a breakdown of glucose in 3 ways. First, aerobic, where your oxygen is required in the presence of oxygen, and lack of oxygen, and this is in the absence of oxygen. In the absence of oxygen, it forms ethanol, carbon dioxide, and energy is releases. In case of lack of oxygen, we have lactic acid and energy is releases. But in the presence of oxygen, we have we have sufficient amount of ATPs, that is 36 ATPs, right? So, and what is ATP? ATP, as I told you, adenosine triphosphate. This is a form in which the energy producing during the respiration is stored. That is why it is called as energy currency. Okay. How it form? It form with the help of this ADP. ADP is adenosine diphosphate. It combines with phosphate by taking energy and converted into ADP and P, which is equal to A. See this ADP, adenosine diphosphate, one phosphate is also added, so now it is called as ATP, adenosine triphosphate. Okay, so on hydrolysis it releases energy equivalent to 30.5 kilojoule per mole. Adenosine triphosphate is known as energy currency of the cell. As I told you, it used to provide energy for the different reaction in the cell to perform various functions. So this is all about today's worksheet, and in continuation of this worksheet, I have also added how to draw the respiratory system in an easy way and mechanism of breathing, how the breathing is taking place. Okay, so just go through the complete video till end. Okay, we have this practice exercise also. The energy currency of the cell. Energy currency of the cell is nothing but ATP. The breakdown of pyruvate to give the carbon dioxide and water and energy in taking place in wherein mitochondria. Differentiate between aerobic and anaerobic. You can write from here. Okay. No, sorry. Oh, yes. Question number 4. Explain the 3 pathways of the breakdown of glucose in living organism. You have to write this answer. This is answer 3. This is answer 4. Write the full form of ATP. Adenosine triphosphate. Okay. So, students, this is all about today's worksheet. So, I hope you understand it very well. Continue to watch this, how to draw human respiratory system and what is the mechanism of breathing till end. Okay, but do like, share and subscribe the channel. Thank you bache, take care, stay safe, stay healthy at home. Okay, bye bye. So students, we've already learned how to draw the human respiratory system in easy steps, and here's the mechanism how breathing is taking place. Like, as we know, breathing is nothing but inhalation and exhalation. Inhalation of O2 and exhalation of CO2. In case of inhalation, what will happen? Actually, this C shape, this dome shape diaphragm, it expanded because of the contraction of, because this external intercostal muscles contracted, this diaphragm also changes its shape somehow to like this, and because of this diaphragm contracted, the ribs raised, and because this rib raised, this lungs expanded, and the air rushing into the lungs, the outside air, which is O2, rushing into the lungs. Okay, but in case of exhalation, what will happen? This external intercostal muscles relax, the diaphragm, which is contracted, now relaxed, and when this rib cage return to its normal position, and because of that, that air moves out from the lungs. By this way, student, in this case, the volume of the lungs increases and the pressure decreases, but somehow this is related to your higher classes, so we will not indulge into that. We will simple learn this. Because of this external intercostal muscles, they contracted, this diaphragm contracted, ribs raised, because ribs raised, so lungs expanded, and air rushing into the lungs, O2 rushing into the lungs. Whereas in exhalation, diaphragm returned to its normal position because of the relaxed external intercostal muscles. Diaphragm relaxed again into its normal position, C shape or dome shape. Ribs return to its normal position, getting downward. The lungs, now they are in their normal position, and air moving out, students, from the lungs. Okay, this is the way the mechanism of breathing is taking place. This is some extra information, but you must know, this is very interesting actually. Exchange of gases between alveoli and blood of the tissue. How? This is very important. How exchange of gases is taking place in human body. Okay, see, when this O2 rush into our body, okay, it binds with the blood because of the presence of hemoglobin, where RBC. Okay, hemoglobin is what? Hemoglobin is a pigment present in RBCs, red blood cells. Okay, so this O2 binds with this hemoglobin and form oxyhemoglobin, and called as oxyhemoglobin, and O2 is released into the blood vessels or through the blood vessel into tissues. Okay, the exchange of gases taking place, and O2, this O2 rich in this air, which is rich in O2, I am repeating, this air which is rich in O2 binds with your hemoglobin called oxyhemoglobin, and reaches to the site of tissues where this O2 released, right, through the blood vessels. So this is the way O2 reaches to the tissues or cells. How this CO2 comes out, right? CO2 released in the blood through this tissue, CO2 comes out and released in the blood, dissolved in the blood vessel, and released in the alveoli sac and sent through out to the nostrils. Means what? This CO2 combines with, though its binding capacity with the hemoglobin is very very less. There are so many ways by which the CO2 get released from the body, but in simple way, for your 10 standard, in simple way, it bind with the blood and dissolved. This blood release this CO2 in alveoli, and from this alveoli it just sent out through the nostrils. Okay, by this way this CO2 exhale out from the body.